Hey everyone, Dan and I are just going to sit down and have a little chat about Downwind Week here in WA. So that if you're coming over, you know what's going to happen.
Cool. And obviously for the local crew too, because there's going to be a lot of people that are brand new to competing in Downwind this year, whereas a lot of people were spectating last year and there was a pretty small crew that were actually doing the races. So
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
pretty exciting that now everyone's getting really excited about it. And with the last 12 months, it's been crazy to see how many races have actually taken place around the world, and we want this to be a part of it.
Yeah. Hopefully it's going to be an exciting race. Last year it was really fun. We had a turnout of, I think, about 30 people for the biggest one.
Yeah, it was quite a few people, but I reckon this year will be even more.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of people coming over. So, yeah, the whole race week, I guess, that we've got is from Thursday the 21st to Thursday the 28th of November, so of next month.
Yep.
And there's the Indian Ocean Paddlers, is a Perth organisation that mainly runs ski events or paddle-related events, because they keep SUPs are allowed, and also nicely they've included SUP foilers. They're running their races, so it's not me that's running the races, but I'm happy to direct questions, etc. And there's 3 afternoon races which are a little bit more social, called the Triple S series.
Yep.
They run on the Thursday the 21st, so you want to get here a bit earlier than that to participate in that first one. Then there's Tuesday the 26th and Thursday the 28th of November. So those 3 afternoon races, they usually call them at about 5 p.m. and that's a relatively short course for us. It'll go 12 kilometres. Our downwinder is typically south to north, and that one starts at Port Beach. We'll probably do a water start and a water finish to keep it nice and safe, and then so you start at Port and you end up at City Beach, and then usually there's beers and stuff at the City Beach Surf Club after that, so it's pretty social.
So how do I sign up to do those 3 races, Dan? Like where?
Well, it's on the Indian Ocean Paddlers website. There's actually 2 that's open and 1 that isn't, but I'm sure that'll come up pretty soon. You can just Google Indian Ocean Paddlers Triple S, and it pops up with the entry. And the good thing about that is the entry for the big race, West Coast Downwinder, is on the same place, and you can enter Triple S2, Triple S3, and then West Coast Downwinder pretty much all at the same time.
Yeah, perfect.
So the one big thing is that you have to have a paddle. So unfortunately, no foil assist and no hand paddles. It has to be a paddle, otherwise you're not included, and that's to do with the insurances.
Yeah.
So it's perfect for SUP foilers. And that'll be just a straight downwind flog.
Oh, how long? They're about 10 k's
ones
each.
Are, by the time you hit the sand, probably 12 k's. We did a few of those ones last year, and we do get conditions where there's no wind here, just like you see everywhere. I think 2 of them had great wind and 1 of them was easterly. So just keep that in mind. Bring foils that are appropriate for light winds as well as honking winds.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen what happened over in France recently as well. And when me and Dan went to Barcelona, we experienced the same thing. Perth, we have pretty consistent wind, but we can't guarantee that every race is going to have the perfect wind conditions for what's going on. So definitely wise to bring big foils and small foils if we get good wind.
Yeah. And then the big races, which we really want to have a good representation at, is the West Coast Downwinder. It's 24 kilometres. Depends if you do a big cutout, it might be 26, but straight line distance is about 24 k's. And you start at the same location down near Freo, Port Beach, and you end at Sorrento. And that one's at the same time as we can participate in these, the skis, they're prepping for the Doctor, which is the next weekend. We're not allowed to enter the Doctor, but the West Coast Downwinder is same distance. And
so I guess that's kind of like the Molokai to Oahu race for Perth.
Yeah.
It's the one that you want to win the glory of, I guess, if you're coming over.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, that one. And like last year they had prize money. I'm sure that they'll have prize money again this year. First, second and third all got prizes, and I'll try to organise some more prizes around these events. It might be merch, it might be something like that. So Yeah, the West Coast Downwinder was won last year by Reedy and
Yeah.
Reedhead. He was the most efficient and obviously the quickest and the best. He did amazing.
Smashed the whole thing.
Yeah, you did really well too, didn't you?
I think I came 4th, so I just missed out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tricky race as well. One thing we also wanted to just quickly talk about is weed here in Perth. We're hoping that there's none, but it's sometimes a little bit unavoidable. And strategy does change a little bit if there's weed out in the water because it slows you down a bit. One thing I wanted to mention is or at least I tried last year to do weed jumps, which seem to have about a 50% efficiency. If you pop the foil out and land back in, sometimes you can clear it. And I remember last year I was behind James Casey.
That was the other race.
That was the other race.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, on the other race, and I did a jump and I landed it, and it was the only bit of the race where I gained ground on him. And then I tried again, stacked it, and from that point he was gone. But
It's one of those things. I mean, you go to other places in the world and they probably don't have as consistent wind, but they don't have seaweed. If we get 2 weeks straight southerlies with no westerlies in it, we're on. We've probably got no seaweed in the water that time of year, but you get a little bit of west in the swell, it can bring it in and causes another kind of issue. But yeah, it's all part of the strategy. It's all part of racing. So
yeah, and it certainly does end up. It makes quite an interesting race because you've got to be dodging weed, and there's a couple more things to think about than just a classic downwinder. But we're hoping it's all clear because that would be the perfect conditions.
Yeah. So prep for the worst and hope for the best.
Yeah, and then there's one final thing that Dan is trying to organise, which is going to be based off the results of the West Coast Downwinder. So
we're going to call it we'll call it the fun run, and it'll happen hopefully if the conditions are good on the Sunday the 24th, which is the afternoon after the West Coast Downwinder. We're going to hold a course race. It's a downwind course race. It's going to be handicapped as well. So the other ones aren't handicapped, first person off the line, first person crosses, etc. But the idea behind the fun run is that we'll grab your time from the West Coast Downwinder and we'll stagger the start, and the people that are a bit slower get the head start on the people that had finished earlier. And the idea is that it's going to be between a 12 and 15 kilometre race, again from Port Beach, but finishing at Swanbourne, which is actually straight line distance, only about 7 Ks. But the idea is that you're going to have to traverse out to sea around buoys, and then come in and near the groin. So there'll be some left hand, right hand turns and pump out and pump in, just to add a little bit of strategy and a little bit of fun to the actual downwinder. It'll change your foil selection, so you might not necessarily go for the smallest, quickest up and over foil. You might need to do something that actually allows you to go a little bit out and upwind, not like severely upwind, but kind of crosswind. So it'll be an interesting format. It's not my idea. It's I heard Jimmy, Casey and Edo talking about it on their podcast, and let's get it started. I reckon Perth is the perfect place to have some fun with that.
So it's probably going to start, we're starting on the beach, we're going to go out to sea, which is like kind of left across the bumps, and then back in, and then from there straight to the end. Is there
similar? So I think what we do this year is we started in the water, just so that we don't have knives running through the surf break effectively. So we'll start close. It'll be like 50 metres out or something. Then it's the Leighton buoy, which is super easy to see. Then we're going to traverse into Dutchy's Groin, where there's another buoy. Then there's another buoy that's just off Cot. I'm going to get people to go in around the Cot Groin, which I reckon will be pretty exciting. And then we're going to go out to the North Cot buoy, and then into Swanee. So there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns, and then a straight downwind run into Swanee. And all the turns aren't going to be super far out to sea. Like, some of them will probably only be 100 metres or so. I'll post in the future what the course is going to be and people can study, but it's not going to be a complex thing. You'll almost be able to see all of the landmarks from the start line.
That's awesome. I think that's going to be really cool as well for if people want to get photos or something, or there's spectators who want to watch part of the course. Because if it's close in off the Cot Groin, what a great spot to watch everyone go past.
Sure, I reckon we've got the Dutchy's Groin, so people can stand on the Dutchy's Groin. Then they can go out on the Cot Groin, take some awesome photos coming around the iconic Cottesloe pylon. Or,
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, but wait, we've got to see if that shark net's up too.
Yeah.
So it might be slightly altered, but there are surf club buoys a little bit further out actually.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm kind of still making up how this is going to work.
Yeah,
but
so this
it'll
is
be
not
good.
going to be like an official race. It's more just come down, have fun, race a course, and yeah, have a good time.
Yeah, and then on the Swanee lawn, we'll organise some beers and they got barbecues down there,
Yeah.
and it should be good. So the other two things with that one is we're going to do it as a charity, so it's $20 entry, just cash, and that money is going to go towards the local charity Ocean Heroes, who do things with autism with kids and surfing. So yeah, we're really happy, and hopefully we can get a good turnout so that there's a bunch of money that goes
Yeah.
towards them.
Yeah, so Ocean Heroes is an awesome charity where people go down, I think young people go down and they help teach children with autism how to surf, or children with disabilities how to surf. And yeah, they have a great time, and it's an awesome thing for the community. So
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the 21st, the 23rd. So Thursday the 21st, Saturday the 23rd, Sunday the 24th, Tuesday the 26th, and Thursday the 28th. So a pretty stacked schedule.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a few movie nights and some other people. I won't say who, but you know, there's like some screenings of foiling movies that are getting organised at Coast Pub while people are there. You know, there's the Mandurah run, so I reckon if it's honking, there's going to be people that can go down do that.
Oh yeah, we forgot about, is the Mandurah run included in this time schedule, or where is
No,
that?
unfortunately, the Mandurah Jewel is off for us
Okay.
this year. They're just doing it as OCs, so we're not allowed to into that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, if this goes all well, then hopefully we build it up next year and try to get a few more things. It's great that there's heaps of races. And, you know, maybe people make a holiday out of it. Don't forget that, you know, there's Margaret River down south that's got incredible foil waves. And the Swan River's got amazing dock starting opportunities as well.
Wake thieving and everything. Yeah.
So Perth's a great place just for foiling. You could be in the water all day, no matter what the conditions. So
Yeah, awesome. I think one last thing I'd like to add just on the end there is we've had new safety regulations.
Oh, yes.
So it's worthwhile. Definitely bring a life jacket. You'll need them for the races.
Yep.
I think they're now mandating if you're more than 400 metres offshore, you're meant to have a PLB as well.
Yeah. So they did a race, the skis did a race on the weekend, and it was a Vycobi vest was pretty much standard. Then the PLB was attached to all of the ski paddlers' left shoulder so that it could be seen by the rescue craft.
Yeah.
And
So do you need to have your own PLB?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, like, yeah, the bumps are better 400 metres off. So, you
Yeah,
know.
definitely get your own PLB.
Yeah. So bring a PLB, bring a life jacket, and you'll probably need flares, but you can always pick them up here.
Yeah.
So
If you're flying over, it's probably best to just get them here, I imagine.
there's plenty of shops over here that can kind of sell them. And I think even on the West Coast Downwinder site, you can buy that stuff for your vest.
Perfect. Okay, I think that's everything.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to seeing everyone, and yeah, hopefully we get some good wins.
Hopefully it's a really fun week, and we'll see you here.
Sweet.
Cheers.
That was awesome,
perfect.
man.
That was really good.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That was easy.
Yeah. That'll get everyone so...